What's up, you team of beautiful savages? My name is Tom and today I'm gonna react to how big is USA actually. Maybe the maps are lying to us, so let's dive in, check it out.
The United States is currently the world's sole superpower with military installations around the world. As a country, its geography spans from subtropical forests to rolling plains, scorching deserts, and Arctic wastes. But just how big is the US really in comparison to the rest of the world? Hello and welcome to another episode of...
I know that Russia is not as big as it's shown on the map. Also, the Greenland is not as big as it's shown in the map. This is because the globe is round, and when they were putting the territories on the map, they had to do it flat, you know. So yeah.
The Infographics Show. Today, we're taking a look at how big the US really is. The US is approximately 5,680,000 square miles, with terrain that varies dramatically. Only Russia at 10.6 million square miles and Canada at 6,205,000 square miles are larger than the US. Its three biggest...
I know Canada has a lot of nature, you know, and a lot of lakes yeah, I wouldn't say that the population is so huge. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I might be wrong though.
States: Alaska at 663,000 square miles, Texas at 270,000 square miles, and California at 160,000 square miles. Combined would be the 17th largest nation in the world, immediately after Sudan at 1.15 million square miles, and right before Libya at 1 million square miles. In total, the US is larger than the 107 smallest countries in the world combined, with about...
Wow, 107 smallest countries combined. This is a lot.
About 327 million people. The United States is also the third most populated nation on Earth, having a total of 4.28% of the total world population. With a net yearly migration rate of approximately 900,000 people, the US is by far the one place the rest of the world wants to live.
And it's getting bigger and bigger. I know a couple of people who left to America to live there. From Latvia, right? So yeah, I mean, it's getting better and better. And also another thing, like some Latvians love to compare Latvia to America, but it's not possible. Maybe we can compare Latvia to a separate state, yes, but to whole United States, no, I doubt.
Germany coming in second at 350,000 migrants, and Turkey in third with 325,000 migrants.
Okay.
In the US, 83% of the population lives in cities, with its three most populated cities being New York City with 8.5 million people, Los Angeles with 4 million people, and Chicago with 2.7 million.
You kidding me? In New York, there's more people than in Los Angeles? Wow, this is crazy. I mean, I heard that in New York there's like one district, right? Let's take Bronx or Queens, and over there's like 1.5 million people living in one district. Man, this is mad. Like in Latvia, there's like population of 1 million, 1.5 million people living, you know. Oh my gosh, this is mad.
People. All combined, the population of the US's three biggest cities is equal to the population of Chad with 14.5 million people. Just these three cities alone are also more populated than Cuba with 11.5 million people, Belgium with 11.3 million people, and Greece with 11.2 million people. When counting the greater metropolitan area, New York City is the 10th largest city in the world, with a total population of 18.6 million people, just behind Cairo with 18.8 million people, and
just too many people, guys. This is too many people. I could not live, and I would like to live in a place where there's such a big amount of people, because people in my opinion, they don't appreciate each other as much as they would if there would be less people, you know.
Head of Dhaka with 17.6 million people. This would make the greater New York City area the 63rd largest country in the world, just ahead of Syria with 18 million people. The US is the world's largest economy with a gross domestic product of $20.4 trillion, or 23.3% of the total global economy. China is just behind the US at $14 trillion and 16.1% of the total global economy. When measured by purchasing power parity, or the price of goods and services versus individual incomes, the US comes at number 2 to China, whose GDP PPP is $25.2 trillion. This means that while the Chinese economy is about 30% smaller than the US's, Chinese individuals have on average 20% greater purchasing power in their own country. The three biggest economies within the US states are California with a GDP of $2.6 trillion, Texas with a GDP of $1.6 trillion, and New York with a GDP of $1.5 trillion.
Wow.
Altogether, these three states would be the world's third largest economy, just ahead of Japan with a GDP of $5 trillion. California's economy alone is as big as the United Kingdom's, Texas's is as big as Canada's, and New York's is...
Man, this is mad. Man, so prosperous. USA is so prosperous. Capitalism works, guys. Capitalism works, no doubt about that.
as big as South Korea's. The United States also has the best equipped military in the world,
That's
though it's
for
only
sure.
the
That's
third
true.
largest at 1 million.
Also, guys, you can find out information about US military over here. I have a lot of videos on this topic.
282,000 active duty personnel. Ahead of it are India with 1.4 million active duty personnel and China with 2.1 million active duty personnel. The US spends over $610 billion on its military every
Wow,
year,
man,
or
that's a lot.
3.1% of its total GDP, 35% of the world's total military expenditure, and more than the next 9 nations combined. Just behind it are China with $150 billion in expenditures and Saudi Arabia with $76 billion in expenditures. The United States also has the most military bases in the most foreign
That's for
countries
sure.
in the world, with approximately 800 military installations.
I mean, like, I know they have bases in Europe, they have bases in South Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean, not South, I don't know why I say South. Pacific Ocean. As I see in Africa already, right? Probably in South America, maybe in some places. And this is how much I know, but I mean, let's find out.
In 80 countries, possibly more military
80
bases
countries.
in more foreign lands than any nation or empire in history. The cost of maintaining these bases alone is about $156 billion, more
Wow,
than
this is
China
mad.
spends on its entire military. On the civilian side, the U.S. has the world's third largest police force, with 913,000 total police
Yeah,
officers.
for sure, you need to,
placing
like,
it just behind India
guard
at number
people, you
1
know.
with 1.9 million police officers, and China with 1.6 million police officers. In the realm of healthcare, the U.S. is the most expensive nation on earth, with a health expenditure per capita of $10,350, placing it ahead of Switzerland at $7,000.
Yeah, that's what I heard also, that in the United States, the health expenses are really expensive. And also that you guys don't have like this sick leave at work. Maybe you can comment down below. Also, don't forget, like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, guys. Important. And yeah, so I mean, without sick leave is very hard to work, man. This is very hard.
$900 and Germany at $5,550, while on average the rest of the world spends about 10.3% of its GDP on healthcare. The US
Here in Latvia, we have like a pretty decent medicine, right? And it's if you like work here and live here in Latvia, it's expensive. But if you work, let's say, in United Kingdom or Germany, right, and you come here to go to doctors, it's much cheaper.
spends 18% of its GDP on healthcare. The United States is a large, complex nation, big enough to host several different distinct accents within its own borders. Its people are hardworking and industrious, leading the world's economy. But despite what recent political events might indicate, they're also the most welcoming nation in the world, with 3 times the number of immigrants than nations in either the number 2 or number 3